and a very fine man.
Thank you. I want to appreciate him. Please, a round of applause for him. And also, I want you to appreciate yourself. I said to Dr. Peter that ordinarily, when you do literary events, the hall is usually empty. At least we have a good show today, and thank you all for coming. I have a script here I was supposed to read, but I see that the eggheads have done theirs off-head. I'm an ancestor, so forgive me if I forget some things. But this is an important occasion and a very serious topic. It's also anecdotal. And I'm sure some of you must have heard this. Nigeria is surrounded by very tiny countries. Benin, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Chad, Niger. And they went to God and said, "You're a God of justice, a God of equity." But all of a sudden we're in doubt as to your fairness, your justice, and your equity. And God said, "What's the problem?" They said, "Look at this country you called Nigeria. You surrounded us around this big giant. You gave them the landmass. You gave them oil. Gave them solid minerals, gave them very clement weather. Basically, you gave them everything, and you gave us nothing. Where is the justice? Where is the equity?" God looked at them and said, "My children, you're right. I gave Nigeria everything. I gave you nothing. But have you looked at the people I put in Nigeria? You don't ever want to be like them." So I say that so that we can put into context our problem. Our problem is we, the people. Whether it is the president or the senator or the judge, or they are part of we the people, right? They are uncles, our friends, our relatives. So we ask ourselves, why did we get here? And we got here because maybe some of us have stopped dreaming. Or maybe we dream too much and we do not believe in the realization of that dream. And my brother and friend Mo have rekindled that process that allows us to dream and to continue dreaming until the fulfillment and realization of that dream called Nigeria. I believe a new Nigeria is possible. Very possible. The great Chinua Achebe once said that if God in his infinite wisdom made him an African, made him a Nigerian, made him a Southern Easterner, put him in a small town called Ogidi, in a small village called Ikenga, that he will never change it because it's an act of God. Each and every one of us here is placed in a particular geographical position in Nigeria, and we cannot change that because it's an act of God. So all we can do is dream to bring to reality what God has ordained, that this country will be great, and it will be great in our lifetime. So I'm going to toss this aside. Mo has a copy. But I told Mo when he asked me to do this, I've been immersed in politics for the last year, very busy. But I take time to read. And I told him, in the last 3 months, I've read 3 books. And coincidentally, I didn't know he was going to ask me to do this. One book is titled, How Democracies Fail. And as you read it, you see things happening in Nigeria. And this book is written by Europeans. The other book is titled, Surrounded by Idiots. And as I read and as I listen to what happens here, I know that the reality is that we are surrounded by idiots. They are still our brothers. But what struck me in that particular book is the subtitle, How to Understand Those who cannot be understood. And we know we have leaders that we can't understand anymore. So, as I look at this narrative, I said to Mo, leave the review of the book to the eggheads. Let me speak as a writer to the fact that you have made the effort to document this book. And I'll tell you why it's important. I think this time 2 weeks ago, we were at another book launch. Mo was there. Where's Harry? Yeah, Harry was there. And Harry had written a book about who is the stakeholder in any society. I think the word stakeholder is the most abused and the most overused word in our politics, because most of us are stakeholders, stake takers instead of stakeholders. But I had agreed to do this because I said to him, it is important that we document at every juncture the struggle of this country. Some of you might be aware, the whole process of EndSARS took place, finished. And those who were the architects, the builders and the executors, never really took time to write what happened so that tomorrow history will not forget. And when an European lady tried to encapsulate what happened, we started pushing back. The process of the Nigerian dream must be juxtaposed with the dream of Nigerians at large and the obedient in particular to find a new Nigeria. And therefore it's important that Mo has taken a different narrative and a different format to write about Nigeria in satire form. A 60-something-year-old country that is nothing but of vast wealth, human capital, mired in poverty, multi-dimensional poverty. It was 133 million last week. This week we added another 4 million. A country where the minimum wage, we can't agree to it. But anybody who owns a Prado knows that it cost him 103,000 now to fill his tank. And you will drive it for only 3 days. So there's a huge narrative that needs to be put out there. What we do for ourselves. Because one thing is clear to me, if you don't tell your own story in your own language, somebody will tell it for you. And we thank Mo for that, for telling our story in our own language, in straight, simple, and understandable prose. We also thank him for immortalizing this period so that children yet unborn would look back and say, what happened? What kind of country did we have? And who were those in the forefront of the struggle for a new Nigeria? So on your behalf, on behalf of so many other Nigerians, it's just a word of appreciation to my friend, my brother, an activist in his own right, and a great mobilizer, to say thank you for putting on record our aspirations, our dreams of a new Nigeria. And I can assure him, because I'm a Panglossian optimist, that in the fullness of time, if not in weeks, in months, if not in months, in the immediate next year, we will realize the dream of a new Nigeria. So thank you very much. I wouldn't be any other place than here because I'm a writer. I wouldn't have been any other place than here this afternoon because I understand what he's trying to do. And of course, they said, if you want to hide anything from the Africans, put it in a book because we don't read anymore. And that's a fallacy. We not only read, we write. I thank Senator Sani for being here because it's important. I see him at book launches. He's one of the few people. When I did my book in 1917, he was there, 2017. Thank you, sir, for coming. And so, but in keeping with my own private practice as a person, long-time national and international civil servant, I'm going to say this. Mo, we don't give shishi, but we give notes. And be assured that while I don't mention it here, you will get notes with a few zeros attached to it. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Dr. Obaze. There are people that you believe. Yeah. In fact, there are people that I would rather they don't announce. Actually, one person in particular, and I don't know why the women always lead the way. When you come up, you know who you are. Please do not announce it, because if you announce it, some people will not allow me to pass this gate. But for the rest of the people, please announce it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. One more time, Dr. Obaze Oseloka, please celebrate him.